Yo, we in the building. DJ Gambino, the Renaissance Man, and this is Sports Talk 101, presented to you by Country Vision Studios. Off in the building, solo dolo, but it's okay. Came up with a show that we do every week. You know, it's pretty much a solo show. I mean, everybody can participate. You can always leave your picks in the comment. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down the list of teams. And I know the season started today. Thank God for football. With all this high political climate that we got going on, it's finally good to have something going on to the point where it's not so stressful. Yes, the election, covering the election, and talking about the election, that's very stressful. But I haven't given up yet. The NFL season starts tonight, and they opening up with Baltimore versus Kansas City. Baltimore on the road. Last year they met in the playoffs. You know, the knock on Lamar Jackson always been, can he beat Patrick Mahomes? Now, he on the road right now, and it's going to be a close game. So, usually I try to pick somebody off the road. And I think I'm going to go with Baltimore. I'm going to start the season out with Baltimore. Nothing against Patrick Mahomes because I know he don't lose a lot, but I'm going to mark me down for Baltimore. I'm also going to tell y'all, I'm going to keep track of this the whole season. Last year I played ESPN Pick'em. I had a pretty decent record. I mean, it wasn't a loser record. It was well over 500. And one year me and the guys was doing Pick'em like this. And yeah, I won. I won. It was close. It was nail biter because you know how it is. You get drunk on Saturday, can't get your picks in on by Sunday. But the way I figured this, it's always Tuesday and Wednesday. As long as you get something done on Tuesday and Wednesdays, this can be done. But moving on. Okay, we got the Green Bay Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I like Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love is an excellent quarterback. You know, Philly, they got Jalen Hurts. They lost their center, Kelsey. He retired. Is that gonna make the offensive line bad? I really doubt it. You know, cause when I think of offensive lines, I'm more about, do you got good tackles? Is the pressure being blocked from the outside? Even though I like how the Green Bay Packers coming up, I'm gonna go with the Eagles because they are home. All right, moving along. But first, I want to say happy anniversary to my wife. It's 4 years. I mean, we've been together so long. I think it's been like 18 years together or 17 years together, 4 married. Talked to a guy when I first got married. He was like, if you can get past 5 years, the rest of it is a piece of cake. So we on year 4 of marriage. So happy anniversary punch. All right, moving on. Pittsburgh versus Atlanta. Everybody know me. I'm gonna pick Atlanta every week. I'm just sorry. I'm being biased. Even though we going against a well-coached Pittsburgh team, because I don't think they the Pittsburgh that we are used to, right? We got the Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, that was battling it out for the quarterback position. Okay, Russell Wilson won it out, which I think is due to the fact that he's, you know, veteran of the bunch or whatever. But Russell Wilson ain't the same guy that, you know, he was. And on the Falcons side of the football, we got Kirk Cousins, and I think that's all we needed from last year. Desmond Ritter. I see why the team that picked him up did cut him, man. I mean, last year, come on, man, we was a quarterback away. We would at least made the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And what about that debacle Dallas had in the playoffs when they played against Green Bay? We probably could have beaten them too if we had a quarterback, but didn't have a quarterback. So I'm gonna go with Atlanta since we at home, and it's my team. Moving on, Minnesota Vikings versus the New York Giants. Minnesota, they starting Sam Donaldson. New York starting Daniel Jones. I mean, you can actually flip a coin and decide this game here because I mean, it's hard to say. New York got a new rookie wide receivers. I think his name Neighbors. Minnesota drafted. I want to say McCarthy from the Michigan Wolverines championship team. He got hurt. So like I say, Sam Darnold gonna be starting. You got Justin Jefferson still at wide receiver. So in a surprise, I'm gonna pick Minnesota on the road. I'm gonna pick Minnesota. Cause Sam Darnold, I mean, the guy done caught a lot of flack for not being good, but I don't think that's the case. 6'5" quarterback, drafted high in the draft. You got to look at who all he done played for: the Jets and Carolina. You know, they ain't none of them being too friendly to quarterbacks right now. Next up, we got the Florida Bowl, Jacksonville versus Miami. I'm gonna take Miami, even though Jacksonville a good young team, star running back, star quarterback. But I just think that Miami team is too fast for anybody. And the only thing that can really stop them is playing in the cold. That's when, you know, speed kind of doesn't matter, right? Speed doesn't matter when it's cold outside because you're not going to be moving the way you'll be moving like down in Miami, right? So I'm going to take Miami to win the season opener. All right, New England versus Cincinnati. I'm taking Cincinnati because New England in a rebuild. They rebuilding. They got a rookie quarterback. He's not gonna start. Jacoby Brissett gonna start for New England. Cincinnati, you got Joe Burrow, T. Higgins. How can I forget the good running back? I mean the good receiver, Jamar Chase. Yeah, you got Jamar Chase. Joe Mixon in the backfield. You got a high-power offense going against a rebuild team. Unless it's an upset, I mean, I'm picking Cincinnati. All right, Arizona versus Buffalo. That's a tricky one. The best quarterback in the league to me. Like I say, everything I say is just my opinion. Is Josh Allen. I'm mad right now because I can't work a trade to get him on my fantasy team. Even though I got Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts was the second, scoring quarterback in fantasy last year. I do have Jalen Hurts. But you also got to watch Arizona. The little quarterback they got back there, real shifting. He pretty good, man. I really think he underrated. But Buffalo at home, I got to go Buffalo. All right. Okay. Houston versus Indiana. That should be a good one. Two sophomore quarterbacks going against each other head up, one-on-one. Stroud had an excellent rookie campaign. Took the Texans all the way to the second round. I think they won that first round game in the playoffs last year. It was kind of hard to remember because, like I said, I have so much stuff going on trying to remember what's going on with this election and all that. It's kind of hard to remember all the way back to last year. But I think they did win in that first round. Richardson with Indiana, he was showing promise before he hurt his shoulder at the beginning of the year. He was on my fantasy team. He was the only reason why I won like 2 games because I got totally screwed last year. I mean, I came in 8 teams. I came in 7th place, but that was because of the tournament. I was actually like in 5th going into the playoffs. 1 game out, that hurt. We actually bet money. But anyway, I'm going to take Houston. Because Richardson just going to be getting back on the field. This is his first game back. And, I don't want to set the bar too high for him. Like I said, it's kind of a toss-up game. It's going to be close. But we really don't know what Indiana going to do with their starting quarterback. They was pretty good with Gardner Minshew last year. They was still pretty good. I think they was 1 game out of the playoffs. They got a nice running back. They got Pittman at the wide receiver. They a nice team, but I'm going to go with Houston. All right, Tennessee versus Chicago. I wouldn't even want to watch this game because neither one of these teams known for points. But Chicago claim they own the uptick because they do have an excellent receiver room. I think they got Keenan Allen from the LA Rams. They already had DJ Moore, and they got the number 1 pick that everybody's drooling all over. They claim that he's the second coming of this great quarterback of whatever. So I'm gonna take Chicago. Because Tennessee, I got a chance to watch the quarterback that they gonna have starting. He was pretty good, but he was playing against us though. He was playing against the Falcons, and y'all know how the Falcons is. 1 week we play good, 1 week we play bad. But he was really chewing our defense up. They lost Derrick Henry. They got Calvin Ridley, I think. Yeah, they got Calvin Ridley, but I'm gonna take Chicago. All right, we got the Ops playing. Carolina versus New Orleans. I'm gonna take New Orleans due to the fact that they're a seasoned team. Derek Carr, they played pretty good last year. They played pretty good, but I think Tampa Bay got in the playoffs out of our division. I think it was Tampa Bay. Yeah, Tampa Bay got in the playoffs, but it was all jumbled up in the NFC South. It was all jumbled up. So I'm gonna take New Orleans. New Orleans at home. New Orleans at home. Next up, Las Vegas versus the LA Chargers. Okay, the Chargers bring in Jim Harbaugh and all his baggage, right? He has a lot of baggage. He got in trouble at Michigan. I heard they told him don't even come back. Don't even come back. That's what they say now. I don't know how true that story is. The Las Vegas, they got a quarterback carousel going on out there, and Devontae Adams, he wasn't the stud he always been in fantasy last year, man. I still drafted him this year because I believe he can bounce back. They coach, he said that he gonna feed him. Hopefully we can trust him with that, But I'm gonna take the Chargers at home. And that's the only reason why I'm taking them, because they're at home. I always think the Raiders is a good team, but they just can't put it all together for some reason. All right, next up, Denver versus Seattle. I don't know. Bo Nix might surprise out there in Denver. He might surprise, but I don't know nobody else out there on their team. Seattle, they forced Pete Carroll out. He's no longer the head coach. Is it the Geno we know? He played pretty good last year. He played good enough to get a little contract extension. They say that running back, they got Walker the third. DK Metcalf. Seattle at home. Got to take Seattle. All right, Washington versus Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield made a comeback last year. Mike Evans got paid. Tampa Bay always well coached. Washington, I don't know. Washington don't really have nothing, but it's just I don't really trust the NFC South team. I'm gonna be honest. I be want to pick against them every week because you pretty much it's probably only one team usually come out the NFC South with a winning record. We usually get our division leader in the playoffs, and that's it. Which I'm thinking that might be a turnaround because Tampa Bay played pretty good last year. So I'm gonna take them at home. All right. Dallas versus Cleveland. Dallas versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Dallas, they paid CeeDee Lamb. They paid him, which I never understood that about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones don't want to pay nobody. Every time somebody comes to a contract, it's like, you got to do the hold down, you got to do this, you got to do that. Which maybe they was getting CeeDee Lamb that time off the rest because he was pretty much the best receiver in the NFL last year. No disrespect to Justin Jefferson or nothing, but CeeDee Lamb tore it up last year, and he well deserved to be paid. On the Cleveland side, Deshaun Watson need to do something. First 150 million guaranteed man in the NFL. First one, ain't did nothing yet. I think everybody pretty much over the little scandal he had going on with the massage therapist and willing to give the benefit of the doubt, let him go ahead and play football. They was able to keep Amari Cooper. I'm going Dallas. I'm gonna take Dallas on the road. Dallas always usually start out hot. They fans love to put their little pom-poms up real bad and show out and stuff and this and that. I'm gonna pick that. Okay, the Rams versus the Lions. LA Rams versus the Detroit Lions. Now this is kind of intriguing because them two quarterbacks got traded for each other. Me personally, I think Detroit won that deal. Not saying that Jared Goff is that much better than Matthew Stafford. It's the longevity of the thing. I think Detroit was actually able to keep the good quarterback thing going because, they had Stafford for so many years. He was a good quarterback, but, the rest of the team, they just wasn't winning like that. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't winning like that. Stafford goes to the Rams, wins the Super Bowl. now everybody want to question, is he a Hall of Famer? Now, he could be. He could be a Hall of Famer. You know, it depends on how you look at it. But for me, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't win enough. He only got the one Super Bowl and all that stuff right there. So, and he got, Stafford got a lot of weapons. Got a lot of weapons. Pua Nakua, Cooper Kupp. They running back. He was pretty good last year. He helped me out in fantasy a lot, but I was loaded with running backs. But I mean, I'm greedy, man. I ain't want to trade nobody. I need to start putting the trigger on them trades and go for, you know, what I need instead of just holding people back, right? Yeah, lose attitude. And just think, I'm the commissioner of my league. Yeah. Uriah Goodell. That has a nice ring to it. But I'm gonna pick the Detroit Rams. I'm gonna take the Detroit Rams. I meant the Detroit Lions. Okay. I'm gonna take the Detroit Lions. I'm gonna take the Detroit Lions in that one there. They're the home team. Okay, New York Jets versus San Francisco 49ers. Last one. I'm gonna take the Niners, but you gotta watch the Jets. This is gonna be the first year of Aaron Rodgers fully committed. Breece Hall is highly ranked at the running back position. Garrett at the wide receiver position. Defense always stout up on the coach Calais. But the only thing is, I'm thinking Calais is on the hot seat. They did show at the first season Calais was the head coach. They did show improvement. They showed good improvement. They was able to pull out some games, but they kind of regressed last year. You know, they drafted the quarterback pretty high, and now they booted him out of town because he can't win. But a lot of times, I think quarterbacks take a lot of flack for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Not saying no reason, but they making the most money on the team. But you can only do so much. Your job is to throw the ball for somebody else to catch it. And it really take everybody to be in sync. And the Jets just last year they didn't look too much in sync. You know, looked like they kept shooting themselves in the foot. But even though I don't like Kyle Shanahan, everybody know I don't like Kyle Shanahan. Took that personally, what happened to the Falcons in the Super Bowl. Still talking about it. I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers in that. I'm going to take the Niners. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pick 12 out of 16 home teams. I mean, you should. I mean, everybody say you got a slight advantage when you're at home. So, and like I said, if you want to play along and you catch the show, just put your picks in the comments. I start writing you down a sheet. Give you shots out. Ain't like they worth much, right? Yeah, I give you some shots out on the show. And all that. Like I said, I was gonna talk a little bit of fantasy too. I like fantasy football, man. The game is so much full of turnover now, man. And really, if it probably wasn't for fantasy football, a lot of us couldn't keep up with it, right? It's just such a high turnover rate. This year, I think I'm gonna win it all. I got a draft grade of an A. Me and this other guy. I looked at the power rankings the other day. He just added a tight end, and he went from third to first, and they swapped me back down to third. So I did a couple trades. I need to look at it too. But y'all wish me luck. I'll keep y'all posted on what's going on with that as far as my team, and we're gonna talk about who the killers was in the fantasy and who underperformed as usual, and who we expect to play better. But like I said about this show, we're gonna try to do this show every week because it's an easy show to do, right? T. Higgins got a comment. Yay! Week 4 PPR. Pacheco. I'll take Pacheco. Cause you remember T. Higgins, he taking T. Higgins a good receiver. I think he got paid last year. So I'm gonna take Pacheco because he down there with Patrick Mahomes, and that's probably gonna be his number one option. He a number one, T a number 2, probably like when and like I said in Cincinnati, number 2 gonna be like number 3 because Joe Mixon got to catch his out of the backfield. Then they got the tight end, so I take Pacheco. I had T. Higgins. I traded him, but it was a good trade though. Cause I got George Kittle, and I needed a backup tight end. I needed a backup tight end, and I had on the bench I got Keenan Allen and for New York, the rookie. Just called his name Neighbors. Malik. I think it's Neighbors. I think that's his name. But yeah, go with Pacheco. Go with Pacheco. I think he's gonna score more points than T. Higgins in the normal PPR, like you said, because the scoring. I kind of changed some of the scoring in our league too. I had to put some of it back because I was doing defense get a point for a tackle, but I was like, nah, that's a little too much, man. They just give the defense a little too much power right now. Let's give the defense a little too much power. But I appreciate the comments, man. If you have time, put your pick'ems in the comments. I started you a sheet. We'll compare them each week. Got no problem with it. Thanks for the love, bro. But you kind of came at the end because we're getting ready to get out of here. We'll be back next week, and I haven't given up on the political thing. I know y'all ain't heard from me in a while on that, but I want to get somebody that's a Democrat and a Republican on the show. And that's kind of hard to do because the Democrats easy. It's easy to get them on the show. It's the Republicans. Number one, it's gonna be hard to get a white Republican to come on here because they're gonna holler he racist for no reason. Just because he voting that way. And the black Republicans, they kind of want to keep, not necessarily Republicans, but the ones vote for Trump. Because you got people that's not Republicans, but gonna vote for Trump. But anyway, I'm working on that show though. Country Vision, we're gonna try to do it right, man. We trying to make a comeback here, and there's no better time than now. Always hit me in the comments. I talk back. I have no problem chatting back with nobody. Give me a holler. And y'all know every time how I end the show. Peace and prosperity.